Welcome back. We're at lesson 11 in the next preview assignment, and in the next class you will need to be able to read a spreadsheet. Let me go ahead and get the little crazy mark over. You'll need to be able to read a spreadsheet, compute absolute change and relative change, connect data trends to historical events. Starting with question 1, as always, hit pause and you take off and do as much as you want to do, like 1, 2, and 3. Or at least go through question 1 and then come back and let's work it together. But starting at question 1, this table contains data on CD album sales, digital, and total recorded music sales. This is United States, and these are the dates. Look at this before we get started. The year really does start at 1990, as it says, and it really does go down here to 2016. It is talking about CDs. It is talking about digital music. Notice it's not present in the early years. And a total of recorded music sales. Question 1, Part A asks, in what year did CD album sales peak? And what was that peak value? So looking at CD sales, here are the CD sales and the column. When did this peak? And we're looking for the highest point. And then it starts going back down and we don't see it rising back up. So at what year? The year would be 2000. And then what was the peak? Keeping in mind these figures are in billions of dollars. So that would be 13.22 or 13 and 22 hundredths billions dollars. Moving on to part B, and what year did digital music sales peak? And what was that peak value? And so we are looking down the digital column and we're looking for where it peaks. Well, notice it, who's to say this is the peak value? We don't see any data following it. So it doesn't look like it hasn't peaked yet. And the value, that the last value we see, or the highest value that we see, the highest annual value, is 5 and 74 hundredths billions of dollars. Part C, in what year did total recorded music sales peak? And so looking, looks like it's right around here. And it goes up and down a little bit, but it never gets back up to 14. So the year would be 1999, and the amount is 14 and 59 hundredths billions of dollars. Moving on to question 2. Again, if you have not already done question 2, this is when you need to hit pause. Go ahead and write down your answers and then come back and we can look at these together. It says on 2 that below is a line graph of total recorded music sales from 1990 to 2016. Again, good practice is looking to see what they're saying and what we're seeing. It's really happening. To notice here, this is the billions of dollars. These are the years, and this is the U.S. total recorded music sale, and there are the years. Looking at part A, it says during what time period were total recorded music sales generally increasing? In a couple of ways that you could say this, but generally it looks like we're going up generally in this vicinity. So like around 1990 up to maybe 1998, somewhere in that vicinity. Part B, during what time period were total recorded music sales generally decreasing? And so on this side, it appears that we are generally going down. We have some maybe flat periods, but generally like around 90, maybe that's more like 1999 down to 2003. We're generally decreasing, and maybe around 2006 down to 2010. Generally, we're decreasing. Or if you just want to go ahead and go all the way from here down to here, from 99 to 2010, it appears that we're decreasing. Part C asks, During what time period were total recorded music sales generally flat? And so looking at some flat areas, this is kind of a flat area. From here to here is kind of flat. From here to here is kind of flat. So maybe even like 94 up to like 97 is kind of flat. We looked at this one a while ago, so kind of like 2003 to maybe 2006 is kind of flat. And then 2010 up to about 2015, and then it's got a little uptick right there. So these areas are generally flat. Part D says, let's just write a sentence, a contextualized sentence describing the trends in the total recorded music sales data. Write what you would like to write about your observations. Here is a sample. Total recorded music sales were generally increasing from 1990 to 1999. They were generally decreasing from 1999 to 2010, and generally flat from 2010 to 2015. Go ahead and hit pause if you have not completed question 3. After you complete question 3, come back and work through it with me together. Looking at question 3, it says in Worksheet 7C, so that's why I have this on the screen. We observed that CD album sales increased from 97 to 2000 and then decreased. Wait, this is the total one. Oh, and then we saw the same general trend in the total recorded music, and then it's going from the years 97 to 2000, and then going down from like 2000 to around 2003. Can this decline of the total recorded music sales that began in 99 be explained by the same historical fact? Explain. Make your own thoughts here, but a sample answer could be no. Since the total recorded music sales did include digital sales, we would have expected an increase in digital sales to lead to an increase, or at least a very large decrease, at least not a large decrease, in the total recorded music sales. So it's not matching, it's not pairing up. I've gone back to the chart to continue on with question 3B. Question 3B says from 2000 to 2003, what was the absolute change? Absolute change in CD, this one, album sales. Absolute is ending number minus beginning number. Absolute change is going to be ending number minus beginning number. I'm grabbing a calculator, looking at 11 and 23 hundredths minus 13 and 22 hundredths, I get negative 1.99. And remember, all of these figures are in billions of US dollars, so it went down almost $2 billion. Looking at part C. From 2000 to 2003, same years again. What was the relative change in CD album sales? Relative change is ending number minus beginning number, so we already have that value, divided by beginning number. So beginning, we started at 13 and 22 hundredths. So I already have the negative 1.99 on my screen. I'll just divide it by the beginning number of 13 and 22 hundredths times 100 to get it from decimal to percentage. And I have a decrease in negative 15. They tell us where to round to. I'm not seeing it, just a quick scan, and it's negative 15.1% is the decrease, a relative decrease from 2000 to 2003. Moving on to part D. Part D asks us to stick to the same years, 2000, 2003, and it asks what was the absolute change of the total recorded music sales, which that would be this column. And so to do this absolute change, we're doing ending number minus beginning number. So ending number minus beginning number. Let me do 11 and 86 hundredths. Oh, didn't type that right. 11 86 hundredths minus 14 and 33 hundredths, and I get negative again. 2 and 47 hundredths billions of dollars that we have gone down in our total recorded music. Just a quick look over here. Our CD, we went down just 2 billion. We went down in total sales 2.5 billion. But there's more. They are also asking us on Part E, from the same years, what's the relative change? And so relative change is ending number minus beginning number. So I know that that value is negative 2 and 47 hundredths of a dollar, or of dollars, billions of dollars. And then we divide by the beginning number. And the beginning number is where we started. We started at 14 and 33 hundredths, or just 14 billions of dollars. When I divide these numbers, and I already have negative 2.47 on my screen, I'm going to divide by 14 and 33 hundredths, multiply by 100, and I'm getting we went down 17.2% in the total record sales. We only went down 15% in the CDs, but we went down 17% in total recorded music sales. So that finishes us up or brings us to F, which will finish us up. And it says compare the relative changes in the CD, so that's this over here, the 15.1, and the total recorded music sales from 2000 to 2003. There's this number. What alternate explanation for the decline in CD album sales might their similarity suggest? So here is a thought. You jot down your opinions, your comments, and listen as I read a possible answer. The relative change in CD album sales was very close to the relative change in total recorded music sales, suggesting that the decline in CD album sales was part of an overall decline in music sales and not a decline specific to CD album sales. We have completed Lesson 7D. Check your calendar to see if there are more assignments that you need to complete before our deadline this week, and I will see you in another video very soon.